Happy Monday, friends. I am so excited. This is our first week where the weather has been in double digits instead of triple digits. So it is slowly cooling down. I wouldn't say it is cool. It doesn't feel like fall yet, but I am so ready for fall that I am going to pull out my cookbooks and look up some fall inspired recipes to get me ready for cooler temperatures. So I will be meal prepping today using my Fixate Cookbook and maybe looking at some other recipes that follow the ultimate portion control eating plan. I want to get back doing that again and really tracking my food. So today I'm going to take y'all along with me as I meal plan, look through my cookbooks, head to the grocery store, and create 1 or 2 meals ahead of time for the week. So yay for fall, let's do this. Initially, I didn't think I liked this Fixate cookbook that well, but honestly, I've made several recipes from it at this point, and I've liked every single one of them. So I guess I'm eating my words, and I would in fact recommend this cookbook. So this is the volume 2 Fixate cookbook, and in the beginning, it walks through the creator's stories, and then it's broken down into sections: breakfast, lunch, dinner, appetizers and sides, snacks, holidays, desserts, cocktails, soups, salads. There's several sections, and so far I'm loving them all. I've gone ahead and chosen 4 recipes that align with Portion Fix, and I also feel like they feel like autumn. And I won't make all of these today, but I do want to create a grocery list with these recipes in mind. What works for me is to grab a piece of paper. I'm not fancy by any means. And I write down the recipe with the page number and I put it on my fridge. And then I grocery shop for these recipes, knowing that whenever I'm ready to prepare them, I have everything I need on hand. I've found that this system works really well for me because my short-term memory is not what it used to be. I guess having 3 kids and mom brain, there's a lot going on in my mind, and I've discovered that sometimes life happens and I don't always have time to cook all of the recipes that I've picked out. And so it's best if I have a system that I write it down, I put it in a place I can see it, and that way whenever I have a spare minute to make these recipes, I will know which recipe I have prepared for and that I have all of the ingredients in my pantry ready to go at a moment's notice. And currently I'm trying something new, a meal prep service. So honestly, I only really need to focus on making meals for myself, for the weekends, and for breakfast. And my hope is that by outsourcing most of my meals during the week, I can really focus on learning to cook a few meals at a time. I think when you are a beginner and you're learning anything for that matter, but for me specifically learning how to cook, it feels really overwhelming when you have to cook 3 times a day plus snacks, and not only for yourself but also for a larger family. And so I think by simplifying this process and just really focusing on creating meals for the weekends that align with the way I want to cook, maybe I will feel more peaceful and that I can start enjoying the process of cooking a little bit more because it won't stress me out all the time. And also just having kids and with their likes and dislikes, it can be really frustrating when you create a recipe that aligns with the way you want to eat, but then everybody complains about it. So by using this meal prep service, I'm hoping that I can just focus on creating foods that the kids will enjoy, knowing that I'm eating my healthy foods, and then eventually maybe the 2 roads will merge together and we will be all on the same track. But we will see. This is my hypothesis. And if you want to know more about the meal prep service that I'm doing, or just how this meal prep service is working, let me know and I'll create a video. Like I said, I've never tried this before, but I'm hopeful that it is going to simplify my life a little bit and allow me to hit my January resolution of learning how to cook. So yeah, leave me a comment if you would be interested in watching a video or two about meal prep service and if it's working for me or not. I'm back from the grocery store and I hit my list, so I'm excited to get going on these recipes and completing my meal prep for the week. I got some dark chocolate because this fits with the Ultimate Portion Control eating plan. You can have this as long as you measure it out. I think there's lots of different options. You could do like the Lily's dark chocolate, which are fine, but I just prefer Nestle's dark chocolate. It doesn't use an alternative sweetener, it just uses sugar, but I like it better, so that's what I'm going with. And then my kids love raisins for snacks. I don't really care for raisins, but they do, so that's a great snack for them. And then we do just the pure maple syrup. It's not sugar-free. It just doesn't have any added sugar in it. But we are making the paleo pancakes this week, and I will do the maple syrup with those pancakes. I like the Bob's Red Mill flour. I'm trying oat flour this week. We've done the gluten-free flour, so I want to give this a try, see how we like it. I've got my spaghetti squash. I didn't plan for a recipe with spaghetti squash, but I noticed one in my Fixate Cookbook, so I just went ahead and grabbed a spaghetti squash. Bananas, 1 bunch. I still have all my others frozen in the freezer. And then my kids do the lactose-free milk. I'm doing this Green Machine Naked Juice. I'm reading a book about balancing your hormones, and I'm thinking about trying some of the tips in that book, and one of them is drinking a green drink on specific times in your cycle. If y'all are interested in hearing more about hormones and balancing your hormones and the books I'm reading on that, leave me a comment, let me know. But that's why I got this Green Machine. It does not have any added sugars in it, but it does have sugar. It has 28 grams of sugar, but it's natural sugars. So we'll see how we like this. And then I got a butternut squash because that is part of the spicy vegetable casserole that I'm gonna try this week, which is a vegetarian dish. And then I've been doing a lot with oat milk lately. I haven't tried this 0 sugar vanilla oat milk, but I'm giving that a try this week. And then here's just some other oat milk. This one doesn't have to be refrigerated until after you open it. And then here's my low sodium vegetable broth for the spicy vegetable casserole. Honey Nut Cheerios, because on the weekends I let my kids eat cereal. Monday through Friday we try not to eat cereal, but Saturday and Sunday I give myself a break from cooking breakfast and they can just pour their own bowl of cereal. Cashews, these make a great snack, but just be mindful the calories add up really quickly. For a 4th cup, it's 160 calories, but we all like cashews in my house. Shredded carrots, I'm going to make that oatmeal, baked oatmeal, and it uses the shredded carrots. In the past, I've been grating my carrots myself, but this time around, I went for convenience and already bought the pre-shredded ones. Avocado, I got these really green and hard because I already have a couple of avocado over here. Let's see, that are ready to go this week. So, but I love avocado. I like to eat it a lot, like frequently. And then crushed pineapple for a recipe, the light sour cream for a recipe. This is the Kroger brand. I haven't done the Kroger brand before, so we'll see how that is. And then the plain Greek yogurt. I've been trying out the different kinds of bag salads. This is the dill pickle, and it's just been fun to try different flavors. So we'll see how we like this. And then we like this White Done Right bread. The thin sliced only has 70 calories. I think it tastes good, and I like the fact that it only has the 70 calories in it. Then we eat lots of eggs. So I got our eggs, zucchini, onion for our recipe. So that's it. That's my grocery haul. There's something about going to the grocery store that just
wears me out. I feel exhausted. So I'm going to get all this put away and then take a little break, and this evening maybe get started on a veggie casserole.
Okay, my first recipe is pumpkin muffins, and I'll just go ahead and say these are not sweet. So if you're looking for something that is really sweet, this is not the recipe for you. One of my sons does not like super sweet desserts. He does not like icing. So this is a great option for him. I think, how is this my son? Because I am all about icing and I like the sweetest of desserts, but I am grateful that he does not. But my other two sons did not care for these muffins. My husband and I, we both liked them, and they worked really well for breakfast as my yellow container for breakfast. But I just want to make sure y'all know that if you choose to make these muffins, they are not going to be sweet. These only have 2 teaspoons of honey. The recipe says you can add more if you want them to be extra sweet. And I did. I actually added about 2 more teaspoons of honey to it, and they are still not very sweet at all. So if you're following the portion fix container counts, for 3 muffins without chocolate chips or additional honey, this would be 1 yellow container, 1/4 of a purple, 1/2 of a red, and then 1/2 of a teaspoon. And then it says for the WW points, it would be 1 point per muffin. Now it's time to make this spicy vegetarian casserole. Back home in Texas, there was a restaurant called Tikka Shack, and I loved their butter masala. And ever since we moved to Arizona, I haven't been able to find a place or a recipe that satisfies my craving for masala until now. And I am so happy about this. So spoiler alert, I loved this recipe and I'm really excited to see how this freezes because I will definitely be making this again. So y'all know that if I'm making this recipe, it can't be super difficult. So this is straightforward and easy to do. I'm using my magic bullet to blend everything and it worked great. I did have to go ahead and add some of the coconut milk into the tomato portion so that it would blend properly, but that worked just fine. I'm learning that the reason why my recipes don't always turn out great is because I don't always read the instructions well. So this is an example of me forgetting to check the measurements. I was going to dump the entire can of tomato paste in there, and it only called for 2 tablespoons. I thought all these spices made such a beautiful color. It just looks like fall. So honestly, I had trouble finding a lot of these spices. I couldn't find them at Walmart, Target, or even our local grocery store chain, but the Natural Grocer store came through for the win, and they had everything I needed. I wanted to tell y'all this in case you live in a small town and you wanted to make this recipe. You might want to pre-order your spices or make sure that you grab them the next time that you go to a larger city. We have lived in several small towns, and we know sometimes you have to prepare ahead of time when a recipe calls for unique ingredients. Also, I don't have a Dutch oven, so I used my crock pot. That means instead of cooking this in the oven for 25 minutes, I ended up cooking it on high in the crock pot for 2 hours, which worked out great. We loved this recipe. But those of you who have a Dutch oven, is it life-changing? Do I need a Dutch oven in my life? Because Christmas is around the corner. So the recipe suggests serving the vegetarian casserole with a side of naan bread, but I actually preferred this over basmati rice. Without the rice, this is very spicy, like make your nose run spicy, which I love for fall, but my husband does not like it that spicy. So once I served it over rice, it really diluted the spiciness, and he really liked it too. And then when we had it as a leftover, we added some grilled chicken to it, and that was delicious. So needless to say, this recipe did not make it to my freezer, but I am very eager to make it again and see how it would freeze. So if you have any tips for freezing a recipe like this, leave me a comment. Should I separate the sauce and then wait to cook the vegetables until the day that I'm eating it? Or do you think I could just prepare it all at once and put it in the freezer? Clearly, I still have a lot to learn in the kitchen, and the recipe doesn't have any notes about freezing it. So, help me. All in all, I'm super happy with how these two recipes turned out, and I am seeing that I'm making progress on my January resolution to learn how to cook. It's been fun to add recipes to our family recipe binder. Speaking of, my sons did not like either one of these recipes, but I'm adding them to the family binder because my husband and I did like them, and maybe one day, fingers crossed, when my kids are past the hot dog and mac and cheese phase, they will enjoy these recipes too. I'm so happy it's fall. Some people say it's time for the season to change, and some say it's the season of change. For me, it's the latter. Happy fall, friends. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.